Wow, what a nice 90-minute nap that was. Hey guys, this is Frozen Things Stews here, and welcome back to another rant video. And today, I am going to be doing a rant on Paw Patrol the Mighty movie. So, Paw Patrol the Mighty movie is the unnecessary and unwanted sequel to Paw Patrol the movie, which wasn't even needed in the first place, and is directed once again by Kyle Brunker, and it stars McKenna Grace, Taraji P. Henson, Kristen Bell, James Marsden, Lil Rel Howery, Serena Williams, Chris Rock, and etc. So basically, Paw Patrol the Mighty movie tells the story, if you can even call this a story, tells the story of this meteor that crash lands into Earth, and it turns out this meteor gives the Pops superpowers because of these little crystals inside of it, and the meteor hitting Adventure City, which by the way literally destroyed the main Paw Patrol headquarters. So now they have to like move into the seas and all that stuff. Yeah, it's caused by this mad scientist named Victoria Vance, who is quickly caught and got sent to jail. And so in jail, Victoria finds Mayor Humdinger, and they both team up to escape so that Mayor Humdinger can get his revenge on the Paw Patrol, and Victoria can get her hands on the crystals before the Paw Patrol gets them. And yes, so the Paw Patrol becomes superheroes now, and they must save the city from Victoria and Mayor Humdinger, and also we also get this subplot of Sky, who was apparently the main character in this movie. She has a crisis about being the smallest and weakest one, but now she gets but now she's proud of her superpowers. But then her superpowers get stolen by Victoria, and so she must get them back, and yada yada yada. Who cares? So yeah. Now let me ask you something. Who the hell asked for a Paw Patrol sequel? Because I sure as hell didn't. But I know you're gonna what? I know you're gonna ask me. Wait a minute, Frozen. Why did you watch this movie in the first place? Well, technically, I'm not like the others who would skip on bad movies. I actually do. I said this many times before, but I do watch bad movies, and I actually don't care if it's really bad, because I need to watch bad movies, because not all the movies I can watch are good, and I've learned to accept that. The only movies that I skip out on are movies that I couldn't care less about, movies that I know I'm not interested in, and I haven't really seen a single promotional material. But unless there's a chance I could actually force myself to watch it, then yeah. So yeah, I ranted last year. I ranted on the original Paw Patrol the movie from 2021, and my rant on that film still ages well. Yeah, Paw Patrol the movie freaking sucks. Yeah, I still stand by everything I said about that movie. I don't care if I'm being too harsh in it. It's just my opinion. It's just my opinion. I don't care. Yeah, that movie is just painful, and I don't even remember. I barely even remember what happened in that movie, despite besides Mayor Humdinger being Mayor Humdinger, and Chase having a crisis and having a forcefully emotional backstory. But yeah, other than that, I can't remember what happened, and it is certainly one of the worst movies of 2021. Yeah, one of the worst movies of that year. So the fact that this movie has a sequel, yeah, I did put this movie on my top 10 least anticipated movies of 2023, and rightfully so, because nobody asked for this. But I will say that I did get a little cautiously optimistic when there was this announcement that a certain actress that I am passionate about is in the cast. Yep, Kristen Bell herself. I think it's a no-brainer at this point that I am a fan of Kristen Bell. She's actually one reason as to why I saw this movie because just the fact that Kristen Bell is in this movie. I mean, it definitely doesn't win me over because I knew this movie still gonna suck, and I figured that Kristen Bell was gonna barely be in this movie. But I still but yeah but I still watch this movie as a Kristen Bell fanboy. Anything that stars Kristen Bell in it, I'll automatically watch. I mean, for crying out loud, she voiced my favorite character of all time, Anna, and also I love some of her stuff, other stuff like The Good Place, and many more. Victoria Mars and Kiki from Bad Moms. Yeah, I mean so many others. So yeah, I knew, but I was hoping that Kristen Bell would be the saving grace to it. So yeah. Now, just a heads up, I was actually going to watch this movie online back in October. Well, technically early October. The moment this movie came out, gonna watch this movie online. I mean as in on a camcorder copy, but turns out they never like there was not a camcorder copy available, so I decided to just wait for it in digital, and now it's out, and yeah. Um, and yeah, and yes, of course, yes. I usually watch bad movies like camcorded, like movies that I know are gonna suck, but I still want to watch them anyway. I watch them camcorded, like Trolls Band Together. I did that, and yeah, because why would I waste my money to see garbage like this in theaters? Well, thank God I saw thank God I saw the creator instead of this movie theaters because the creator is a masterpiece, and the fact that this garbage movie made more money than the creator at the box office, wow, that is just beyond me. And I gotta say, after seeing this film, oh yeah, it freaking sucks ass. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, by the way, shout out to my Paws fanboy, the number one Paw Patrol fan. I know how much of a Paw Patrol fan he is, and also Gwen the cat also absolutely love this movie. So Manny Pops and Gwen, I totally can accept your opinions. I'm not gonna bash your opinions on it, but oh yeah, but also yeah, I'm not gonna bash your opinion on it, but. Yeah, I mean, Dark Knight quality movie, my ass. I mean, yeah, Trolls World Tour fans literally had the audacity to compare this trash to the Dark Knight. I mean, it ain't the Dark Knight, y'all. I mean, I don't know how you could compare a baby movie to the Dark Knight. So yeah, and before I started giving my reasons start getting into my points. I just want to say that. Please do not tell me, oh, it's a kids movie. It's a kids movie. It's not made for you. Please don't make that excuse. That's actually people who say that are actually the reason as to why I slam animated movies for being just for kids. Yeah, that's why. Although I've kind of changed at this point. I don't do that anymore. Yeah, thanks for helping me realize that, Guillermo. And also, especially when 2023 has a lot of great animated movies this year. This year had far more great animated movies than bad animated movies. You know, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, Elemental, the Super Mario Bros. Movie, Suzume, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem. Yeah, just so many great movies, and of course, we still got some highly anticipated animated movies coming at us, like Wish, especially Wish, The Boy and the Heron. Which The Boy and the Heron is now my second most anticipated movie for the rest of the year, second only behind Wish, and also Chicken Run 2: Dawn of the Nuggets. So yeah, you can clearly see how great animation was this year. And I will say about Paw Patrol the Mighty movie, I will say that this movie actually is an improvement from the first film. That's what I'll say. Yeah, it is better than the first film. It's not it was actually a little better than what a little better than what I was expecting. And it's I don't think this is gonna be one of the worst one of my least favorite movies of the year. This won't be in my top 10 favorite, like my top 10 worst movies of the year. So you can, so I'm sure Paw Patrol fans would be relieved by it. And there are far worse animated movies this year, like The Monkey King, The Amazing Maurice, and especially Trolls Band Together. Ugh. Yeah, Paw Patrol. I will say this is definitely in my top 5 least favorite animated movies of the year. But yeah, it's really impressive that this movie actually managed to be better than The Monkey King, which spoiler alert shares the same rating as this film. So if you know my rating, if you remember what I rated The Monkey King, then it's technically my rating for this. But yeah, I will say though, let's talk about some of my positives with this movie. What are some good things I can say about this movie? Okay, well, I think you're gonna see it's coming. Kristen Bell is obviously a good thing. I mean, what else is there to say that hasn't been said? The only Kristen Bell role I don't think is that good is the one from Teen Titans Go to the Movies, which I already forgot the name. Yeah, Jade Wilson from Teen Titans Go. The only yeah, but I'm not sure if I like her or not. I would have to rewatch Teen Titans Go to the Movies at some point to decide on that. But whether I like that performance or not, yeah, Jade Wilson is Jade Wilson is easily Kristen Bell's weakest performance. So I can definitely say that Kristen Bell actually gave a better performance in this movie than in Teen Titans Go to the Movies. And I was right that Kristen Bell was barely in this movie, but with the limited screen time she had, particularly in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie, she did give an excellent voice work. And yes, and I'm actually glad that Kristen Bell got to be in the very first scene. Yeah, I'd probably rewatch the opening 5 minutes and then just quit rewatching when Kristen Bell exits the screen. And she did try her best, and I actually do like Janet. Janet is definitely my favorite character in the movie, despite that she's just a minor character. At least she got some major role in the first. She got some major role in the first film. No, I'm not in the first one, but she got a major role in one scene. Yeah, that's what I meant to say. And then we get to see this actually see where they save. They save Janet, and yeah, that's great. And another positive is that I don't think Sky is a bad character. Yes, I don't think she was bad. I mean, yes, technically the movie was about her, and the movie was about her. I know she's the main character. She's basically what Chase wasn't in the first film, and that can kind of result in Sky's character arc to be a little bit similar to Chase's to what Chase went through in the first movie with all that trauma and forced backstory, which I'll get to that in a bit. Yeah, I mean, there was actually one. I think Sky was fine. I guess it's like okay. I mean, Janet is better, but Sky actually is not bad. There was one scene I really liked. There was one scene I really liked that I want to point out. Yeah, there was. Actually, the main reason as to why I don't think Sky is a bad character, not great, don't get me wrong, but not bad. There was actually one scene where Sky got to be a badass. So basically, when Sky had to stop the meteor shower from falling to the earth. So Sky took up everyone's powers and used all these powers combined to crash into the meteor, and then she suddenly tried to sacrifice herself to crash into the big meteor, the biggest one, and yeah, stopped it. It's predictable, and also like there's a scene, and also it tries to make you think that they were gonna kill Sky, but of course they were not gonna kill. They were not gonna kill her off. Because this is a kids movie, why would you kill off someone like Sky? And also, like, I don't think toddlers would want to see character deaths in movies, unless if they risk seeing some of the heavier PG-13 PG movies where they kill characters off. So yeah. That's all for my positives. Now let's get into my negatives with the movie, and let's talk about the reason as to why I think this movie still sucks, despite it being better than its predecessor. Where do I start? Yeah, first of all, I think the intro give the intro gave you a hint on how I felt about this movie. It is boring. Yeah, this is such a boring movie. I was so bored watching it. Like I actually did not think that the movie being boring would be one of my main criticisms with the movie. But this was such a boring movie. This was a major snooze fest. I couldn't care less about anything. And man, this movie was such a chore to sit through. For a lot of times in the movie, I was not even paying attention. I was just on my phone. And when a movie like this, when a movie makes me like lose attention and just scroll on my phone, be on my phone, you know that's a bad thing. That's a bad thing. That tells you that the movie is incredibly boring. And the story of this movie, I will say that among the animated movies about meteor showers, this is better than Collision Course. Certainly, I think everyone can agree on that. But this feels like a story that could have been told in an episode of the show, because a lot of times it feels like it's just it feels like barely anything is happening, which is why I was bored, because literally nothing is happening. It's just all talking, jokes. Not a single joke was funny. And like there's like so much ideas thrown into this movie that there were like so much unnecessary ideas thrown into this movie just so I can fill the runtime. So much filler. The idea of Pops getting superpowers in the first place is just so far up its own ass, and the superhero stuff is just lame. Like, I actually agree with Rachel reviews on her criticism about the fact that the Pops got powers even though they're technically already superheroes. Why do you need powers to? Why do you need powers to become heroes? I mean, you can be superheroes without powers. It's like this movie is trying to say like you're only a superhero if you have powers. Aren't they technically superheroes? Like who needs like they I think this is like maybe meteor shower. Okay, I can deal with that, but you did not need to make this a super powered story. The action scenes may be bigger on scale, which is probably what warranted a PG rating instead of a G, but they're so lame. Except for the meteor shower one, that badass scene I talked about. All the action scenes are lame. They all just bore the crap out of me. You know, like with Sky facing off against the plane fight scene. Like the plane fight scene and the giant Mayor Humdinger action scene. Couldn't care less about them. I think I already forgot about them. And speaking of Mayor Humdinger, did I just say the N words? I mean, if you think I said the N word, I did not. It was just me giving him a bad pronunciation. But what is Mayor Humdinger doing in this movie? What is he doing here? He was here for no absolute reason. He did not need to return to this movie. If you literally take him out of the movie, it certainly would be no difference. And just like the first movie, they added in this emotional backstory that tried way too hard to be emotional, but it just turned out to be emotionally manipulative and forced. And as a result, I felt nothing from it. I was like rolling my eyes. I was like, okay, it's not making me cry. I don't care. Like, are we just gonna keep getting the same? Like, are we just gonna keep making this some a reoccurring theme on each Paw Patrol movie where like it feels like like all the Paw Patrol will members will get their time to will get the time to have their own backstory of how Ryder met them. First Chase, now Sky. Who's next? Rubble. I wonder who's next. Yeah. Who's next? Rubble. Marshall. Yeah. Yeah. I heard that. I am aware that they're making a Paw Patrol movie 3, which I am certainly not excited for. Yeah, I won't be surprised if they make a Marshall, if they put a backstory on Marshall. And I mean, another one of those stuff, forced emotionally manipulative backstory, sad backstories. I mean, at least just don't give us a forced emotional backstory. Like, don't, like, just, if you're gonna explain how Reddit met them, just don't try to make it tragic. Just don't. If you're just not gonna be able to get the audiences to be emotional. I mean, I will say that the song in Sky's backstory is okay, though I forgot about it. But when I heard it, I was like, okay, that's not bad. And yes, the songs in this movie are completely forgettable. Forgettable. So yeah. So overall, while I don't think this is one of Nickelodeon's absolute worst movies, and it's not gonna be on my top 10 worst movies 2023 list, Paw Patrol the Mighty movie is such a chore to sit through that has way too many ideas with barely any substance and barely anything happening. This that tells a story that did not need to be told, because and it's so far up its own ass. It tries to repeat some of the same mistakes as the first film, like how it includes a forced emotionally tragic backstory that is just very emotionally manipulative, and yeah, it's just not enough for me to care about anything. So yeah, thankfully Kristen Bell is in this movie to save it, to be the saving grace. If it wasn't for Kristen Bell, I would have rated it much lower. But with that said, I'm gonna give Paw Patrol the Mighty movie a 1.5 stars out of 5. Man, what a rant that was. So that's all for my rant on Paw Patrol the Mighty movie. So yeah, what are your thoughts on Paw Patrol the Mighty movie? Yeah. I am, by the way, I am aware that there are some people, specifically the fans of the first film, who say that this movie was a complete step down from the first, whether they like it or not, and I can see why. But to me, this is better than the first film, even though it still sucks. So yeah, what do you think of this movie? Do you find some enjoyment in this movie? Do you actually like it, or do you hate it as much as I do, or are you in the middle of the road? Or do you hate this movie even more than I do? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my song review on the new Wish song, and technically another video on the upcoming Wish. So yeah, bye guys.